Okay, right. Right, here we go. Africa, Zimbabwe, you've heard of the place?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Well, a few years ago, I was on holiday there with a group of friends and relations. We were on the banks of the Zambezi River, having a wonderful time. Now, this particular evening was really balmy. The sky was clear, the stars were shining. We were sitting there drinking wine, reminiscing, and just listening to the sounds of the African bush, which are just different to any other sounds in the world. Well, at about 9:30, we decided that we really should retire for the night. Yeah, it's amazing how tired you get doing nothing all day. Anyway, we went off to our tent. It was really hot, and I tossed and turned for about an hour, and then decided that I would go and sleep on a camp bed that I had outside my tent. Much better, and soon I was fast asleep. Midnight, and I was awoken by this most terrible smell and the sound of crunching bones. The bones that were being crunched were mine. This is a true story, as a hyena grabbed me by my face and hand and dragged me up a very steep bank. Well, I was screaming and fighting. I thought my end is near. Then suddenly,
Diane, what was going through your head? What did you think you were going to die?
well, knowing this hyena, knowing that he'd bitten off more than he could chew, he actually dropped me and vanished into the bush. Well, I was there on my hands and knees, blood pouring out of my face, and I thought, well, I can feel my hands and feet, and I'm thinking, I must be all right. But I was actually quite a mess. My eye was in my ear was hanging off, my face was a bloody pulp, my thumb was just about detached from my hand. My poor daughter and her friend had to put me back together again, clean me and bandage me up. I mean, that's a dreadful thing for a daughter to have to do for her mum.
Was there any medical help?
No medical help was there at the time, so my son-in-law Trevor and my ex-husband, so you can work that one out for yourself, decided to drive me to the nearest hospital. Now I could hear Trevor whispering to Jez, keep her awake, she'll go into shock. You know, keep her awake. Oh my God, Jeff, every elephant and his auntie's out on the road tonight. Can't get through. And Jeff in his stoic way said, just keep going, Trevor. Anyway, we eventually arrived at the hospital and were met by two African nurses. They looked at me and said, my way, oh no, we have no facilities here for you, you must drive on to Harare. Well, Harare was another 5 hours down the road. So luckily for us, these two Cuban doctors came, and they were fantastic. They sewed my thumb back on, they put me on a drip, they gave me painkillers, anti-tetanus, they gave me anti-rabies vaccine, and cleaned me up as best they could. In the meantime, Mars, which is the Medical Air Rescue Service, had decided to come. But can you believe this? They said they could only land first thing in the morning because there was an air traffic controller strike on. Anyway, they arrived, the doctor and the sister on the plane was phenomenal. And when I got to the hospital in Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, it was like the movies. I was put on a trolley wheel down, and the doctor examined me. I was put into X-ray, I was prepared for theatre, operated on, was back in the wards. I had fantastic treatment. Now altogether, I had 14 operations.
Any photos?
No photos with me, I'm afraid. But anyway, they managed to find my eyelid and sewed that back on, which is good for keeping an eye in. A surgeon in South Africa managed to reconstruct my eye socket using the inside of my mouth. So I've now got a glass eye, which kind of looks all right, but it doesn't see so well. A bone man managed to reattach my thumb using lots of skewers, and I've just about got 100% mobility in it. I mean, I find, when I look back, that my recovery was phenomenal. I was back at school within 3 weeks, but what is even more incredible is that I am here to tell the tale. And just another thing to let you know is that hyenas have the most disgusting, smelly breath of anything
Did they
I've ever
probably have
smelled.
actually heard that?
There you are.
Did they probably
Usually they travel in packs, but this was on its own.
Oh.
Thank you for listening to me. I needed to do that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And Tony's filming me just because I'm doing a public speaking, professional speakers course, and I send this film to America and they crit me. And these women people that interrupt you. I'll put the footlight. Right. I actually have a problem with the age I am. Do you? No. I think the main problem I have is because I don't feel as old as I actually am. Do you understand that? But listen to this. The other day, my little grandson said to me, "Granny, how old are you really?" And I looked at him and I said, "You know, Daniel, I'm so old that I actually can't remember." And he said to me, "Well, you know what you've got to do, Granny?" And I mean, there's these big blue eyes and this kind of intense face looking at me. And I said, "No, what?" He said, "You know what you've got to do, Granny? You've got to look in your clothes at the label in the back. They tell you your age. Mine says 5 to 6. I laughed it off as well. I go back. Yeah, well, later I actually thought about it. And I realised, when I looked in my clothes, that I was 16 to 18. Imagine that, 16 to 18. And what was even better, about a year ago, I was 22 to 24. So, as you lose weight, the years just roll away. But what was even better was when I looked in Tony, you know that lovely man I'm with? Tony's clothes say XL. And XL are those, what are those numbers? Roman numerals, you're right. Roman numerals. X10, L is 50. The X is in front of the 50, so you take it away and you're left with 40. So this man that I thought was hitting his 70 years and 10, you know, your allotted time, was actually just a pup. He was only 40. And I mean, there was I with this guy of 40, a mature 40-year-old. And how cool must he be at 40 to be going out, well, to be with a hot chick who's 16 to 18. Isn't that wonderful? You can solve my whole problem about this aging business. Isn't that great? That's great. Yeah.